I love these videos. I really do. Love doing videos on comments. Now, I'm not doing all his comments. Golly, this guy just kept commenting. I mean, just, you ever wonder sometimes, I know I've heard on Joe Rogan and some of those podcasts that, you know, there's like bots out there and they're talking about this and that and they're like, they're not real. And they just start up arguments and things like that. I'm like, I think we got some in the fishing industry. And then I see those bots and they get personal, or I'm like, no, this can't be right. One, they're not very smart. So usually those bots are smart enough to like get the argument, but these guys actually, the way they type and do all things, they're real people. But either way, this guy got all caught up in his feelings about this little thing on the front of the boat called LiveScope. Okay. And he got so mad, and it wasn't your normal, it's cheating, all that stuff. I mean, you know, can those guys really just keep that going? And what I mean by that is, are they going to do this for the next 5 years? Every single time they see a post or see something, they start commenting. There's no way they can keep that up. And this guy gets mad at me, and you got to realize, I don't know what he's watching, the videos he's watching. And I'm gonna explain some stuff about how I do YouTube videos. And he can't get past this. Okay? So I'm gonna explain it to him. And he probably won't watch this video, but this is for him. He said, I can't watch you anymore because you're pushing LiveScope and you're doing that. I haven't pushed LiveScope once. I'm not. It's not what I do. If y'all know me, I rarely push anything on my channel. I just tell you the truth about things. That's my whole deal. That is my whole deal on YouTube. That's the only thing I can stand on, is the truth. That truth might be about a lot of different things. It's usually all about fishing, or the fishing industry, or anything that there is to do about fishing. I try to tell you the truth as clear as I can make it, and so y'all kind of have a better understanding of what's going on. Now, I make no bones about certain things. I'm a tournament fisherman, first and foremost. Before I ever even thought about YouTube, before I even thought about, like, the minute I picked up a rod and I started catching fish, within weeks of that, of learning how to bass fish, I wanted to go fish tournaments. And I've been a giant tournament junkie my entire life. Right? I don't think there's anyone out there that, man, I'm up there. I'm up there in the upper 1% of guys who have fished more tournaments than probably anyone in the country. There's no doubt about that. With that being said, usually when I do videos, my mind usually goes to tournament fishing. I can't help it. When I go out to the lake, I think tournament fishing. I don't think fun fishing. I'm always thinking, how do I learn? How do I get better? How do I figure this out? And it's all for tournaments. It's almost never for like fun fishing. Like, fun fishing to me is tournament fishing. Secondly, I rarely think about the elites when I do any of this. And when I say the elites, the professionals. I don't fish the professional circuit right now. Guess what? Neither do you. Y'all don't. You'd be surprised. A lot of my videos, when I'm thinking about things and talking about stuff, I guess I forget, because people bring in like the elites and like certain guys, and I'm like, oh, God, I wasn't even thinking about them. I don't fish against them. I could care less about them most of the time. I'm usually thinking about more local, regional team stuff and how it affects us. Notice I said us, because if anyone knows me, I fish against y'all. That's what I do. Most of the time, I'm fishing a ton of team tournaments against y'all. And so my mind usually goes that way. So if I talk about LiveScope, and unless I specifically start talking about LiveScope at the professional level, and it's usually about how they're going to adjust with it or what they're going to do with it and stuff like that, I'm doing it because this is what we're all having to go against or deal with or whatever. And so a lot of people get into this whole like fun fishing and whether it should be allowed. I don't care about any of that stuff. Not as much. I'm not saying I don't care about the resource and things like that, but I'm just saying that's not my first thought. It's tournament fishing. So he says, hey man, you're pushing this LiveScope thing. No. What I'm doing is telling you the truth about LiveScope. What I'm doing is, if you fish tournaments and you're wondering why you keep getting beat in a lot of these events, the events I'm fishing, the events I see what's going on, the multiple events around the country, and you're getting beat, I'm trying to let you know why. And a lot of it's that live scope up there. It is. It's not positive or negative. It's just the truth. You can get upset about it. Don't get upset about me. It's not my fault. I've got it up there. The first reason I got it up there is definitely to compete in tournaments. That's why. Almost everything I do, like I said, in fishing is to compete in tournaments, not really to like fun fish. So I got that thing because I started getting beat by guys that I didn't think were catching fish the old school way. And I was like, man, these guys keep on catching them, and they're not catching them. I see them on the water, and they're always live scoping. I'm going to get beat. I'm getting beat. And you get beat long enough, you're like, man, I got to start to change. Now some people don't like that. Some people will just quit. Some people will complain. Some people will do all these other things. That's not me. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. And by golly, I want to fish tournaments and win tournaments. And I'm going to do that. I'm not any way possible, right? I don't dabble in the gray, but this is obvious. It's right there. We're allowed to use it. Go figure it out. Is it the future? I don't know, but it's the present. It's the present, and I'm going to figure out how to use it. So I'm figuring out how to use it. Do I do videos on it? A little bit here and there. Do I talk about it? Yes. I talk about it in certain videos because it is a tool that I'm having to use. I have to. If I want to compete, I have to. Like I said, you might not like that it's in tournaments. Okay, don't fish them. You might not like the fact that I talk about them. Okay. But it's the truth. The problem is, and the only time I get a little upset about it, is that you're like, you know it shouldn't be in there. It doesn't matter what I think about whether it should or should not be there. It is. And if it's allowed, right? And they say it's allowed, I'm going to learn how to use it. I don't know what else to tell you. I'd be an absolute moron if I told you whatever my opinion is on it, if 10 out of the top 10 are using it, and I came on here and said, I don't like it, and y'all shouldn't use it either. Man, that's way untruthful. That's lies. That's not what I'm doing. So a lot of the guys on here fish tournaments. They want to compete. If they wonder why they're getting beat, a lot of it's because of that. If you take away the tournaments, right, and the guy's going out there and he wants to catch fish, he doesn't care about your opinion, the guy's opinion about that thing. He doesn't care about your opinion. I'd say 99% of people don't care about your opinion. They want to go do what they want to go do. And they're catching 3 to 4 or 5 fish a day. And the guy next to him with live scopes catching 30. He has every right to go sit there and go, you know what? I think I'm gonna get one because I want to know what it's like to catch 30 because I'm struggling doing this. I want to go see how to catch fish out there in the middle of the lake. I want to go see how to catch them suspended. I want to see what you're looking at. It's not illegal. You might enjoy when it's 34 degrees outside getting 3 bites all day. And there's tons of guys saying, oh, I don't need it to catch fish. Most of us don't need it to catch fish. Most of us don't. But some of us want to catch more than others. And it would be, regardless of my opinion, it would be an absolute direct lie to y'all to sit there and tell you to your face that it won't help you catch more fish. It will, whether you like it or not. You can keep coming to me on comments. You can keep coming to me. I've never once said, I don't think I've ever said how it or where it belongs in the industry or how do I think it's right or fair, any of that stuff. It doesn't really matter what I think. It doesn't. I don't make the decisions on this. And I'll be honest with you. I can't. It doesn't matter to me. It stopped mattering to me when they allow it in a tournament and I'm either going to choose to fish it or not. And I'm going to choose to fish tournaments. Now, if they start making cheating illegal, right, and stuff like that, I've stopped fishing some tournaments because of that, because they don't freaking come down on cheaters, or there's people I don't trust running the event or stuff like that. But man, I want to fish tournaments. See this going away? Sorry, it's not going away anytime soon. So like I said, you can sit there and get on your computer and do all that. That's great. I'm gonna go fishing, and I'm gonna want to compete in tournaments. I want to catch fish. That thing helps me catch more fish. Well, the one thing you can say is, man, I don't like Todd's opinion, but he's not lying. I'm not lying. Continue to tell you about certain things about it and how it does help, hurt, mainly helps. And what I find interesting, he got mad about some of these videos I did where I was just showing fish reacting on LiveScope. He got mad. You know why he got mad? I just dawned on me. He got mad because I was telling the truth. That's what he got mad about. A lot of people get mad about that when you tell the truth. And they know deep down, they know I'm right. And they lash out. And that's what he did. He lashed out. I forgive you. I forgive you for lashing out because you know I'm right. All right. I got to get ready, guys. We are got Bass Champs coming up, then practice for the Toyota, and then figure out how to stay warm for like 4 days after Bass Champs, because it is going to be brutal. And this is one of the reasons I've always not liked fishing in January. God, it gets nasty down here. The cold doesn't bother me. I mean, it's not fun. I don't like it. It's the wind. It's the wind. Only because we're on Rayburn. And when the wind blows on Rayburn, and it's in the wintertime, I know where it's coming from. And man, that lake is not fun when it's coming from that direction. So I got to figure out, once again, how to stay warm in January. I mean, I think one of those practice days, I've heard a lot of people, we're not practicing one of those days. I just can't see us doing it. It's nasty. I don't think it's going to be worth it. So maybe I'll come in there, man, if I can get some people riled up, I can get some people that are like, man, I don't think I'm going to practice today. I might go live. I don't know. I'll work on that. Might have a guest or two that might be pretty interesting. All right. See y'all guys.